About the play and about the concept of Greece Yaka, I mean, everyone should just come and watch it to start off with. But other than that, it's actually a lot about fear. It's about how fear is spread in society, how there's people out there who are manipulative, people in power who manipulate people's fear, which is very relevant to today's society and exactly what's going on in the country right now, where you can take something so simple and completely blow it out of proportion to create absolute chaos in the country for some people and their own means.
I think Greece Yaka doesn't necessarily clearly cut out what exactly we're talking about, and you can interpret it in so many ways, and it's quite relevant to society at the moment. So it definitely will deliver a certain type of message, and I think people watching, people of every sort of age, I think even now to children now to adults obviously who have gone through so much in our society, will be able to relate to the play for sure.
We're playing opportunists, so that's not really one set character. It's we kind of do a lot of characters during the course of the play who are making use of innocent people.
So yeah, you have the opportunists kind of, you know, taking on different roles and showing how different people in society make use of the suspicion of the problems that exist in society.
I think my creepy name is the Greece Yaka.
Greece Yaka Returns is an original play, bilingual. It is based on Sri Lanka and some of the turmoil that happened in Sri Lanka in the past few decades.
He was looking at Sahani through the window.
Yeah, in the can passalu.
Greece එක ගෑනු ළමෙක්ව රේප් කරලා මරලාලු.
හැමතැනම ලේප් කරලාලු.
අහසත් නිකන් ග්‍රීස් වගේලු.
එන්නේ තෙල් කෑමටලු.
අපේ රට කජිනා කියන බැලවරක කවලාලු.
I am playing the character of a politician. This one's named the Black Politician because I represent one facet of the community, the black facet. It's a kind of a metaphorical thing.
You know, most people get into acting when they're in school, and it's usually Shakespeare plays or, you know, very classical plays that we do. And doing theatre like this, when you get out of school, it really changes the way you look at society, because you start doing things that are relevant to the 21st century. And you start looking at everything that has happened in history, and you try to tell a story out of it as well, which is what Greece Yaka ultimately does.
The Greece Yaka must be some low-class shanty bugger. Greece Yaka marutanu kya adisalapunulu. Greece Yaka taappagenelu.
How do you know he's a man?
When the grease comes off, it could be anyone. Nē, එයා අපේ ගමේ principal ලු.
The importance of our scene, Ashini, if you...
Because I think what we start off as this really loving couple, and then slowly as the play progresses and the suspicion and like all the kind of experiences
around us kind of molds us
start influencing us,
yeah.
Then the difference takes place.
What do you think of these? What do you think of these?
Thematically, it is about fear and how our personal prejudices and our internal fears can be manipulated by opportunistic forces in society, and how that leads to social division.
Shiny is, well, I mean, her primary role is actually she's somewhat of an activist, I would say, but who also is very free-spirited, is very liberal thinking, but is stuck with this crazily overprotective mom, which I think a lot of girls in this country can actually relate to.
It's begun to change my interest in theatre towards more unconventional theatre styles, and Grease Yaka Returns has been one of the things that has actually pushed me into that.
So I play the overprotective mother, and in my sense throughout the play, all I want to do is to protect her actually from society, from what's happening, and to cure her in the sense, you know, to make sure I do what's best for her.
Why have you moved away from me? What? You're embarrassed to be seen with me. You have to come and drop me off at the office van every single day, Anna. So you are embarrassed to be seen with me? No, I'm just saying that.
Grease Yaka was a play that we did in 2014 with Ruanthi Dicekera, and that was also about how social phobias are created. So Grease Yaka Returns is a thematic sequel in the sense that it is not connected plot-wise to Grease Yaka, but thematically it is about how social phobias are manipulated further and leads to social division.
Grease yakekuත් ඉන්නවලු. මොකක් එන්නේ මේ වගේ රූමක් කන්‍යාවියෝ පස්සේ තමයි.
ඒක නේද? You heard?
You can't be serious. අම්මා හිතුවද මේ යකෙක් ඇවිල්ලා මාව උස්සන් යයි කියලා?
ඒක නෙමෙයි චාලි මං කියන්නේ. I'm just saying it's not safe for you, child. Or for me, for that matter. You think that these people don't know that I'm all alone at home and I'm doing God knows what every day?
However, it is also a comedy, in parts hilarious, in parts dark humor, and basically we talk about some of the issues that affected us as a community as in Sri Lanka in the past few years, and how we are in danger of them recurring once again in the future.
What do you think of these?
Not bad, no?
I like them. ඔගලන්ට මේකෙන් කැලු පාට එක තියෙනවද?
Yes, madam. I'll bring that.
Grease Yaka Returns is a warning given in a very hilarious and entertaining way.
දැන් අද කඩාගෙන වහිනවා.
We try to represent that Sri Lankan middle class bilingual society that is very much growing, that is very much how it really is in society. So I think the fact that the play is bilingual is something that really is important, which sets it apart, and which really set it apart also in the State Drama Festival as well.
You know, the Grease Yaka also walks on high heels apparently.
Are you saying I look like the Grease Yaka, Kishan?
Not you, men.
Kishan!
I mean, seriously, that shade of red with her skin tone. Ugh.
Don't be mean.
This is the culture we've grown up in, where we talk in English and we talk in Sinhala at the same time. So it's extremely natural to be up on stage and be switching from language to language. And I don't know, to me, it's really, really like completely easy compared to doing a fully English play or doing a play fully in Sinhala, because it is a natural form of talking, and it's great to actually have it depicted on stage and really bringing that to life. And I think it's an evolution for both types of theatre, and it's a great platform for the Sinhala theatre and the English theatre to actually come to one stage and really see Sri Lanka for what it is, at least. I mean, at least for now, Colombo for what it is.
දැස්ස නේද? දුව වෙන්න ඇති.
Why have you moved away from me now? What, you're embarrassed to be seen with me here also?
No. හැමදාම ඉතින් ඔෆිස් වෑන් එකේ මාව බස්සන්න ඕනේද අම්මා?
So you are embarrassed to be seen with me?
මේ පිච්චෙන් ඩව්. අද කඩාගෙන වහිනවා. දවසම කළුවරයි. කොහොම මූසලයි.
I would consider this sort of play very abstract, and it doesn't stick to the typical conventional theatre style, and it's been interesting because it deals with a very pressing, relevant social issue, but it also manages to bring out like a comic element.
My character is very manipulative. He's very street smart. He knows how to control a crowd to get what he wants. And at the end of the day, his agenda is to manipulate the crowd and, push his agenda at the end of the day. It's all politics to him.
නැහැ හදෙලිය මුට්ටි පොලේ ගහනවලු. කන්නාසේ කරවෙච්ච පපඩන්ලු.
No, he likes French fries, Lou.
ඌ චෝපාකාරයි.
Greece Yaka is not the real issue.
I think in terms of set design, even the way I think we carry it out, I mean, it's acted out. We keep it very precise, we keep it very small. I mean, basically, there is a meaning to get at, and I think we make sure that that is what is,
And in terms of context, it's very relatable in terms of you see people that you would, like when you see the characters on stage, you'll be like, oh, I know a person like this, I know a person like that. So
and
that
you've
is
probably been, if you do think into it a little, you can definitely, you'll be like, okay, I can relate to that situation.
Exactly.
I've been there, or something, okay, it'll spark something off, or target something.
Yes.
It could be this bugger even. Kishan! I mean, look at him. He's the perfect candidate for the job. The amount of cheap hair oil these people use, it was just a matter of time before they started using this grease on their skin also.
Kishan, I've told you this before, you just can't say things like that.
Here we go with the preaching.
It may be preaching to you, but I work with victims of abuse. Words can harm people.
Apart from the socially conscious message that this play brings, is also the message that you should try different things. You should approach theatre in a different way. For example, plays don't always have to be in English, or they don't always have to be in Sinhala. You can make a mix of it, and that's what makes it more realistic. So I think breaking away from convention, trying your own thing, mixing completely different groups of people and sending out a message, that's what they should take from this. I think that's something that they can learn.
It's really interesting to sort of take another look at everything we have gone through as a society and put it up on stage for people to think about more deeply.
ඔක්කොම මූසලයි.
What, am I coming home tonight?
I don't know, depends on work.
Work all the time, work for charity. Here, your loku amma is sick. I thought I'll make some soup and take for her in the evening.
I'm of course not going to come, Mama. You know that she hates me and she barely even tolerates your guts.
Sharini.
I mean, I'm not going to come and give soup to some, annoying woman like that.
What's wrong with you, child?
I think somebody watching this either might fit in to identifying with the opportunists, like, oh, I am that person making use of people manipulating society. And there'll be another group who hopefully will open their eyes and think, oh, this is what's actually happening to me, and I think I want to learn from this and not be manipulated by. I think that's an important part of our characters.
Sahani, isn't that your creepy neighbor? Arin?
As directors, both myself as well as Nishanta, as citizens of Sri Lanka and people who have lived in the country, we've drawn from our experiences growing up in this country, and we've also drawn a lot from the cast, because a lot of what we do is in conversation with the cast. So it's really about growing up in Sri Lanka and being Sri Lankan and drawing from those experiences.
Now can you try to be more civil? You can bitch all you want when we go home.
There, get that one also then.
Mata මේකත් ඕනේ.
Okay, madam, I'll bring them.
May your credit card gone?
Yes, sir.
Oh, thank God.
It's been an interesting journey from like last year onwards. We've been doing Grease Yaka for some time, and I've been playing this role for more than 1 year, I think now. My character is very much very pampered and basically from a political family.
Now who's being judgy?
I'm not the one who called her a grease yaka.
All I'm saying is, once this grease is off, it could be anyone. Huh?
Here you go, madam.
It is very organic, so it's a very living, breathing process. I mean, at the end of the day, you don't have a script for yourself. There's nothing set in stone. So each day you get a new point of view, a new story. So you scratch, you write it again, you scratch it off, and you start over again. So it's a very evolving process. And even this is something that probably in another 20, 30, 40 years, you can just do the same thing with the slight variations, that it wouldn't have aged a single day.
Through our characters, you can actually see the progression of the whole play, because it starts off everything peaceful, then as things progress and this Grease Yaka kind of takes over, and basically at the end of the play, complete different sides, opposites don't even like each other, can't even look at each other. I'm literally driving him out of the house.
You heard? What? You think some Yaka is going to come and get me up? I'm just saying it's not safe for you. Or for me, for that matter. You think these people don't know that I'm all alone at home and you're doing God knows what every day? God knows what. Might work.
පේන්නේ නැද්ද? දැන් මේ රටේ ලෝකේ වෙන දේවල්.
Wes! නැත්තම් පිච්චෙන්ඩ ආවෝ. මේ මදිවට ග්‍රීස් යකෙකුත් ඉන්නවලු.
Watch a musical comedy, or should I pay the same amount and watch Purahanda Kaluvara and cry myself to sleep? And then I really thought about it, and I would say that my cup of tea is the latter. And to every person who would like to be awake and present and be aware 24/7, which is something that everybody should do these days, because we live in a very thumbs at the news feed and Instagram, whatever thing, because things are happening very fast, and we live in a very politically contentious environment. So it's important to be aware, and it's important to be reminded ourselves that entertainment can be fulfilling, entertaining, and brain food also, and which compared to a lot of other productions out there, this is much, much, much more rewarding.
දැන් බ්‍රේක් එකක් ඉවරයි අපි ආයෙ පාඩම් කරමු.
බලන්න බය නැතුව කියන හැටි විතර. ඔව් ඉතින්
Firstly, I mean, I said a lot of things, but firstly, it's an entertaining play. So I think, first of all, we hope to entertain the audience, but also within that entertainment to give them something to think about, both about themselves and about society and the forces that are active in our own society.
Very relevant, very contextual, so people should come and see it because you'll be able to see yourself on stage and you'll be able to reflect on how ridiculous society has gotten at this very moment, actually.
So the reason why I joined the cast was I've seen Grease Yaka 1, which was a really great show. And when I heard that Grease Yaka 2 was happening, Grease Yaka Returns rather, when that started happening, mainly it was a bunch of close friends who were doing it. So that itself was motivation enough. And also we knew that the script was kind of also going to be half devised and half directed. So we also had kind of a input in how it kind of ended up being.
For me, basically the reason was when Nishantha did ask me whether I'd like to come on board. I have really not been part of a bilingual play. Also, the thought of taking part in the State Drama Festival was like a huge factor, and also acting at the Elphinstone Theatre, which is a big deal for me.
Think about this concept before you share something, before you tell someone something, before you listen to the media, before you read a newspaper. You'll think about this concept. So I think it's really good that if people think like that and evaluate themselves, their actions, and what's happening.
All alone at home, you're doing God knows what every day.
God knows what. Amma, it's work.
Work? Why do you have to work? Huh? Look at your cousins. Khawdar khabisha. Gedat vela mukut karanne. Anit ekana cake khadana. Why can't you be more like that?
I think if you want to have a good laugh, this is a great show. It's got great comic elements in it. So maybe you should come and watch it if you want to learn something and have a good time in the process.
You heard?
What? You think some Yaka is going to come and get me up?
I'm just saying it's not safe for you.
It's definitely 2 in 1. You get the message, your mind really opens up to this, you start seeing things in a different way, but also you really enjoy that 1 hour where, it's comical, but it's also meaningful.
The Grease Yaka could be anyone, Lou.